Good morning, students. Today we will be discussing about social organization in termites. This is the diagrammatic representation to show the social organization in termites. The termite society or colony is a highly organized and integrated unit. There is a caste system with division of labor based on the colony members' structure, function, and behavior. The major castes in the colony are worker, soldiers, winged reproductives, primary king, primary queen, secondary queen. Myself, Dr. Balram Sai, Assistant Professor in Zoology, Government Dunga College, Bikaner. Social organization in termites. Now the question arises, what do you mean by social organization? Social organization is a process in which a single or both parents live under a shelter and perform the activities in an organized and cooperative manner for the maintenance of the community. The detailed account of termites was published first in the Royal Society of London in 1781 by Henry Smithman. A typical colony poses nymphs, semi-matured youngs, workers, soldiers, and reproductive individuals of both sexes. In the picture, we will discuss in detail. Sometimes also several egg-laying queens are included. The different types of insects, each having a particular function, live in a colony called caste. Now we will discuss about the caste system of termites. A termite colony includes two major castes, that is the sterile caste and the reproductive caste. The caste system and the size of the colony are controlled by a pheromone called social hormone, which is secreted by the members of reproductive caste, that is the king and the queen. Next is sterile caste. They are incapable of reproduction and include usually workers and soldiers. First we will discuss about the workers. They are sterile of both sexes and developed from the fertilized eggs. Workers constitute major numbers in a colony and occupy 80 to 90% of the total number. This is the diagrammatic representation to show the worker. Workers are small sized individuals measuring about 6 to 8 mm in length, which bears chewing mandibles and usually lack of eyes. But workers of some harvesting species bear well developed compound eyes. They have no wings, that is, they are apterous and they feed upon the wood or fungus products. Next, when we have discussed about the workers, it is necessary to talk about the division of labor. Workers perform all the duties for the colony except reproduction. They take care of the eggs and young, undertake the labors of food gathering, food storage, and feed the nymphs, king, and queens. They also take part in the building of nests and in the cultivation of fungus garden in special chambers in the subterranean channels. They also maintain the moisture in the interior of a nest of a colony. They perform defense duties in some species and also clean the other castes. Next is soldiers. The soldiers of some species of different genera show great diversity in characters. They are developed from the unfertilized eggs, whereas in the workers we have discussed that the workers develop from the fertilized eggs. Soldiers are wingless and larger than the workers. Soldiers are more or less pigmented and possesses large head and stout, powerful mandibles. The specialized forms of soldier termites within many species of the family Termitidae called nasiutes. They are characterized by the reduced mandibles and the head which is continued as a rostrum at the tip of which opens a frontal gland. This is the picture showing the nasiute soldier, and this is the rostrum part at the tip of which a frontal gland opens. The secretion of this gland is acrid, which helps to prevent enemies, and at the same time it dissolves hard substances including concrete structures. In some species such as Rhinotermitidae, the soldiers are specialized with a pair of strong mandibles, as you can see in the picture, and highly elongated grooved labrum that contains defensive secretions, and the soldiers are mostly devoid of eyes but occasionally appear in some species, and they constitute 5 to 8% in number in a colony. Soldiers for food rely on workers and they maintain the defense of the colony. Next is the reproductive castes. These are the fertile and are characterized by the presence of the eyes. And from the functional point of view, the reproductive castes are of three types. They are as follows. First is the Macropterus or large wing or primary reproductive forms. Second one is Brachypterus neotenix or short wing or substitute reproductive forms. Third one is Apterus neotenic reproductives or wingless forms or replacement reproductives. All these three castes will be discussed in the upcoming slides. First is the Macropterus or large wing or primary reproductive forms. These sexually matured males and females have two pairs of wings longer than the body and convert kings and queens. The body is usually pigmented and may be yellow, brown or black in color. The widely separated large compound eyes and paired ocelli are usually present. The royal pair or the sexually active males and females of social insects are the original founders of the colony. King. Usually there is a single king in a colony. In the picture you can see. And it is smaller than the queen, as clearly we can demarcate in the size. King are smaller in size as compared to the queens, and the function of the king is to mate intermittently and provide sperms to the queen. Next is the queen. Queen is also a single in a colony, which is largest in size, measuring about 60 to 80 mm in length. Queen lays eggs after mating and can lay more than 1000 eggs per day. Both king and queen live in a special chamber called nuptial chamber. It is widely believed that the king and queen is the primary source of a pheromone called social pheromone that maintains the colony integration and the size of the colony. The colony integration is also maintained by the exchange of food, saliva, or some secretions among colony members, and this process is known as prophylaxis. Next is the Brachypterus neotenix or short-winged or substitute reproductive forms. When the primary or original king or queen dies or gets old, its place is taken by the sexually mature male or female but in nymph form. To replace them, the nymphs of the suitable sex, male or female, attain maturity by special feeding without further molting and become the substitute queen. Reproductives are characterized by the presence of a short pad-like wings, ocelli, and rudimentary compound eyes and the small reproductive organs. The substitute reproductives vary in number in different species within the colony, and it is recorded 50 functional substitute queens in a colony of Podoterms. Next is Apterus neotenic reproductives or wingless forms or replacement reproductives. If queen dies in some adverse conditions or gets old, the Apterus neotenic reproductives are produced. In some primitive subterranean species, the nymphs or ergates, that is workers, are without wings and possesses less developed eyes and reproductive organs, become functional reproductive in the colony with one or two molts. The workers and soldiers are usually blind and live deep in the soil of the mound, so they do not require vision and always remain in close contact of the food source. The reproductive adults have well developed eyes because the vision is required for flight and in search of nest sites. That's all in today's lecture, and in the upcoming lectures we will discuss more about the termites. Thanks a lot.